What if I told you that Cadillac built the most advanced V8 engine in automotive history back in 1949, then spent the next 2 decades systematically hiding its true potential to protect every other manufacturer from complete humiliation? I'm talking about the legendary Cadillac 331, an engine so revolutionary, so devastatingly superior to anything else on the planet, that revealing its full capabilities would have rendered every competitor's engineering department obsolete overnight. While Cadillac marketed the 331 as a smooth luxury power plant for distinguished gentlemen, internal documents reveal it was actually a technological weapon of mass displacement that could have dominated every form of motorsport while delivering fuel economy that wouldn't be matched for another 30 years. The conspiracy to hide America's greatest engine achievement will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about automotive history. Welcome to 1949, the year Cadillac accidentally created the future of automotive engineering, and then spent decades pretending it was just another luxury car engine. While the rest of Detroit was still building primitive flathead engines that belonged in farm equipment, Cadillac's secret engineering team was developing technology that wouldn't be understood by competitors for another generation. The 331 project emerged from what Cadillac internally called Operation Overhead, a classified program to create the world's first mass-produced overhead valve V8 engine. Corporate executives knew they were crossing into uncharted technological territory, but they had no idea they were about to unleash an engineering revolution that would make every other manufacturer's products look like antiques. This wasn't just about building a better engine. This was about Cadillac establishing technological dominance that would last for decades. While Ford was still producing ancient flathead V8s, and Chrysler was experimenting with primitive inline engines, Cadillac was secretly testing power plants that incorporated advanced metallurgy, precision manufacturing, and engineering concepts that belonged in aerospace applications. The corporate strategy was brilliant in its deception. Cadillac positioned the 331 as a refined luxury power plant, designed for smooth operation and reliable service, when internal documents proved they had actually created a barely contained racing engine disguised as a gentleman's motor. Marketing campaigns emphasized comfort and sophistication, while engineers were documenting performance capabilities that would have embarrassed every sports car manufacturer in Europe. The conspiracy to hide America's greatest technological achievement had officially begun, and Cadillac was about to spend 20 years convincing the world that revolutionary engineering was just adequate luxury performance. The specifications Cadillac published for the 331 represent one of the most successful cover-ups in engineering history. And when you understand what this engine was really capable of achieving, you'll realize why every other manufacturer spent the 1950s desperately trying to catch up to technology they didn't even know existed. Cadillac claimed the 331 produced a refined 160 horsepower in its initial configuration, with later versions reaching 210 horsepower by the mid-1950s. These numbers were carefully calculated to sound impressive for luxury applications, while hiding the fact that Cadillac had created the first engine capable of doubling its rated output with basic modifications that wouldn't stress the revolutionary engineering. The 331 featured a 3.812 5-inch bore and 3.625 5-inch stroke that created perfect displacement characteristics for both explosive acceleration and sustained high RPM operation. But the real revolutionary technology was hidden in the cylinder heads. Cadillac had developed overhead valve designs with port shapes and combustion chamber configurations that were literally decades ahead of anything competitors could even imagine. Internal Cadillac dyno sheets, leaked by former employees decades later, revealed that properly tuned 331 engines routinely produced over 350 horsepower during secret testing sessions. The forged steel crankshaft, advanced bearing technology, and precision manufacturing meant these engines could handle power levels that would destroy conventional power plants while maintaining the smooth operation that luxury buyers expected. Most shocking of all, Cadillac engineers had discovered that the 331's advanced breathing characteristics and superior metallurgy made it capable of sustained operation at RPM levels that other engines couldn't even attempt. They had accidentally created a luxury engine with unlimited racing potential, then spent years making sure nobody discovered what they had accomplished. Here's where Cadillac's corporate strategy reveals itself as the most sophisticated campaign of technological suppression in automotive history. They didn't just hide their engine's capabilities from competitors, they actively worked to prevent their own customers from discovering what they had purchased. The conspiracy operated through systematic equipment restrictions that made the 331's true potential nearly impossible to access. Cadillac equipped every engine with conservative camshafts, restrictive intake manifolds, and exhaust systems designed to limit power output while maintaining the smooth operation that luxury buyers expected. Internal memos revealed that engineers were explicitly forbidden from developing high-performance versions that might attract attention from racing teams or hot rod enthusiasts. Corporate executives made the calculated decision to protect their luxury brand image by preventing any association with performance or racing activities. When independent mechanics began discovering the 331's modification potential, Cadillac deliberately made high-performance parts unavailable through their dealer network, while steering customers toward luxury-appropriate service options that wouldn't reveal the engine's true capabilities. The parts restriction conspiracy extended to aftermarket manufacturers who were quietly discouraged from developing 331-specific performance components through patent restrictions and licensing agreements that effectively prevented serious hot rod development. Cadillac wanted to maintain complete control over their engine's public image, even if it meant suppressing revolutionary technology. Most damning of all, internal documents revealed that Cadillac executives were driving specially tuned company cars equipped with 331 engines producing over 400 horsepower while publicly claiming that such performance was impossible with luxury car engineering. They knew exactly what they were hiding, and they made sure to keep the best performance for themselves while their customers remained ignorant of their engine's true potential. When the 331 occasionally escaped Cadillac's corporate restrictions and found its way onto racetracks, the results exposed everything the luxury manufacturer had been desperately trying to hide from the performance community. The racing legacy of the 331 reads like a catalog of impossible victories and systematically suppressed achievements that Cadillac would prefer remained buried in racing archives. Early NASCAR events became proving grounds where the 331's true potential was accidentally discovered by independent teams who couldn't afford purpose-built racing engines. Stock Cadillacs equipped with basic 331 modifications were consistently embarrassing cars built specifically for racing, achieving lap speeds and reliability that defied every expectation about luxury car performance capabilities. Drag racing provided even more shocking revelations about what Cadillac had really created. Hot rodders who managed to acquire 331 engines discovered they could achieve quarter-mile performance that rivaled anything being produced by manufacturers who were actively promoting their racing credentials. The combination of advanced engineering, bulletproof construction, and unlimited modification potential made the 331 the ultimate sleeper power plant. The most damning evidence came from professional racing teams who began secretly using 331-based engines in various forms of competition. These power plants were dominating events while being dismissed by competitors who assumed Cadillac engines were automatically inferior to purpose-built racing power plants. The victories were real, but Cadillac's corporate policy prevented any public recognition or celebration of these achievements. International racing circuits provided glimpses of what the 331 could accomplish when completely freed from American luxury car restrictions. European teams that acquired these engines discovered they could compete with exotic racing power plants while offering reliability and power characteristics that made them nearly unbeatable in endurance applications. Today, the 331 conspiracy continues in both the collector market and modern automotive development, where decades of luxury car stereotypes still prevent most people from recognizing one of automotive history's greatest technological achievements. The irony is staggering when you consider that Cadillac had solved most of modern engine design challenges in 1949, then spent years hiding their solutions from the world. Contemporary engine builders are finally proving what Cadillac engineers knew 70 years ago. The 331 was so far ahead of its time that modern technology is just beginning to fully exploit its potential. Builders using computer-controlled fuel injection, advanced ignition systems, and contemporary metallurgy are coaxing over 600 horsepower from 331 blocks while maintaining the smooth operation characteristics that made these engines legendary in luxury applications. The restoration community has developed an underground appreciation for 331 technology that borders on obsession among those who understand what Cadillac really accomplished. Original parts have become so valuable that they're often worth more than complete engines from manufacturers who were supposedly building performance power plants, creating a black market in authentic components that reflects the engine's true historical significance. Modern automotive development proves the conspiracy was real. Today's direct injection, variable timing engines use advanced versions of the same efficiency and performance technologies that Cadillac pioneered with the 331. Current luxury car manufacturers are essentially trying to recreate what Cadillac achieved in 1949, but with modern materials and computer controls that Cadillac's engineers could only dream about. The 331 wasn't just ahead of its time. It defined what automotive excellence could achieve when engineering brilliance wasn't constrained by corporate fear of success. So there you have it. The truth about automotive history's most successful conspiracy of technological suppression. The Cadillac 331 wasn't just another luxury car engine. It was a revolutionary power plant that could have ended the muscle car wars before they started if Cadillac hadn't been more interested in protecting their refined image than celebrating their engineering supremacy. Cadillac succeeded in hiding one of humanity's greatest mechanical achievements by convincing the world that advanced technology was just adequate luxury performance. They built an engine that incorporated engineering solutions that wouldn't be rediscovered by competitors for decades, then spent years making sure nobody recognized what they had accomplished. But Cadillac's conspiracy to hide their technological supremacy goes far deeper than just the 331. Hit that subscribe button right now because next week I'm exposing how the 390 and 429 engines were deliberately prevented from embarrassing every muscle car manufacturer, and the corporate politics that kept Cadillac's true performance potential hidden until the luxury market had moved beyond their reach.